Thanks for joining in, folks. Today's session, we'll be covering what role will AI play in the testing landscape and what we are doing at BrowserStack in this regard, right? So AI-powered testing, what's new at BrowserStack? We can move to the next slide. Your speakers for today, Kunal here from BrowserStack, product manager for the AI initiatives, and we have Nupur, product manager within the AI initiative squad team as well. We'll be your hosts for today, and we'll be taking you through the landscape and what we are doing and what does the future look like. At the end, we'll be taking questions and we'll be happy to answer all of it that you have. We can move next slide. Before we get started, some housekeeping items. Today's session is for about 60 minutes. It is being recorded, so rest assured if you miss something or will be shared at the end after the session gets completed. Participants will stay on mute. They can give the questions in form of chat or questions during the course of the call. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, there will be a Q&A session at the end. Please use the Q&A section for the webinar. Cool. Moving ahead. Agenda for today, we'll be talking about AI and quality, how we look at it overall and where we see the market today. I will cover it very quickly. We'll not go into too much theory on that aspect. Where we'll be spending most of our time is AI at BrowserStack, where we'll talk about some of the items that we have and some of the items that we have planned for the future, the very immediate future. We'll talk about our approach, our responsible approach to solving problems, and at the end, we'll reserve some time for question and answers. We'll move to the next slide. AI and quality. Yeah. So I think before we move to the quality space, we just wanted to clear out some air in terms of why artificial intelligence and why now, right? It's a term that's been floating around in the market for probably more than 30 years now, starting from the very early rule-based solutions to your artificial neural networks, to your GANs and RNNs, and now the very powerful large language models. Why has this progression happened? Well, I think initial implementations were not adaptable, were very specific for use cases. Now I think it's a move towards general intelligence and models being able to solve a lot more generic problems, and that's where we reach to why now and where the market is today, right? The place where the tech is today is that it's a lot more assistive. It will help you do your repetitive mundane items and help you make you more productive, while you can spend your time doing a lot more critical and tasks that need a lot, like not repetitive and require heavy lifts, right? So that is where we look at AI and the market today. Obviously, it's a very evolving, fast market, and we see it. We are keeping a tap on it as to where it heads towards next. Moving on to the next slide. AI for the testing space. I think what we looked at is it's as a space within testing. The life cycle can be broadly broken down into the planning phase, the create phase, the execute phase, and the verification phase. There are a lot of problems across all of the individual items of the life cycle that AI can help with. But before AI comes in, what are the problems, right? Productivity, performance, effectiveness, insights, RCAs. These are to name a few, right? Day to day, in the quality life cycle, we have to undergo all of these to get things done. There is a lot of productivity loss when it comes to doing the same items, repetitive items again and again. When tests fail, um, there are performance implications as to builds taking a lot of time, manual testing taking a lot of time to verify smaller issues, effectiveness slash coverage of what is being tested. Are we covering all scenarios? And then trying to identify the root cause as to what caused the failure. Was it the change? Was it a test case? Was it the underlying application under test? What was the problem, right? So there are a lot of problems across the testing lifecycle, and AI today can help assist and take away a lot of those um, smaller pains out of your day-to-day activities. Moving on to the next item, how we see it from a business impact standpoint when it comes to AI in testing. I think the first very critical aspect is improved productivity. Um, there is you deliver faster by AI taking away your repetitive tasks that don't require much of problem solving. Cost efficiency. I think when it comes to doing a lot more with the same infra, AI can help identify what is the most relevant or most important parts to test and leave away all the clunk. Strategic insights. A lot of the times when we test, we need to give reports, we need to build reports for consumption across the entire chain. I think AI can help assist with a lot of those customized reports for all your needs. Enhanced quality, obviously, reliable test suits. Test suits fail less. AI can help make sure that there's less flakiness overall, and bug-free releases. Faster cycle time, where I think testing the most relevant items help you release faster. So this is where we see from an impact standpoint that we look to create with AI in testing. Moving to the next part where Nupur will take over and talk about what we are doing with AI at BrowserStack. Nupur.
I hope everyone can see my screen. Yes. So I would like to walk everyone through what exactly it is that we are doing at BrowserStack. As Kunal mentioned, there is plan, execute, verify stage, right? So at every single stage in the testing life cycle, we have different use cases occurring. And for every use case, we have some AI capabilities that BrowserStack is building. So let me talk about them. So test case authoring is the first stage wherein QA person in the testing lifecycle would need help with suggesting missing test cases to improve the test coverage, right? When a particular feature or a bug is under testing, it's needed to create a test run or a test build, need to choose test cases which would verify that particular feature. Or for QA persona who doesn't have enough skills to create automation test cases, or even for the persona who has skills to create automation test cases, we have AI capability to convert a simple natural language prompt to convert a simple natural language prompt, low code test for a Selenium, Cypress kind of capabilities that I'll talk about soon. Next is test execution phase, wherein during test execution, we often see that test cases need to be updated frequently because of constant changes happening in the underlying web page. We are preventing the need for updating these test cases again and again by self-healing those test cases through the AI capability we are providing over here. I'll provide a short demo for it shortly again. once the test cases are executed, they are bound to fail. And when they fail, we have the capability to, provide insights into the failure. What could be the failure? What could be the possible root cause analysis for it? And what could be the possible fix for it? And with all these activities going on in the testing life cycle, there are a lot of metrics that are generated, like regression stability, defect leakage, or automation coverage. With all these metrics, if you want to create an executive summary, instead of having to create custom dashboards or custom visual graphs and analytics, we are saying that a customer can give simple natural language prompt, and we will create those dashboards which would be rich in quality insights and would ease the effort of creating summary of what has been happening in the entire testing life cycle of a project. So these capabilities that I just talked about, they exist in all the web UI automation testing frameworks like Selenium, Cypress. They also exist in all the testing frameworks like TestNG, Mocha, Cucumber, with all the languages like Java, Python, Ruby. And for all the browsers on all the mobile apps and all the mobile browsers and on all the web browsers as well. So this is an all-encompassing offering that we have across testing lifecycle for all the BrowserStack products that are helping our customers from years across every touch point of the testing lifecycle. So as I present you the vision, I would also like to take you through the capabilities that we have made generally available today in the market, starting with suggest and create test cases, creating test build, converting a given natural language prompt to a low-code automation test case, and self-healing test cases. So I would start the demo. Let's start with test case creation. This is let's say a sample Kanban board that I've created for the demo purpose. A, a simple Kanban board to track project's progress, right? So this is a bug under consideration, which is saying that for an e-commerce site, when a product list is generated, after you after you apply filtering, sorting doesn't get applicable, and after you sort, existing filter tenders useless. Done. Let me so where sorting and filtering together are not working but individually are working. This is a bug reported by QA team, right? So now to test this bug, we need the QA persona would need to create test cases, right? So on clicking generate using AI, there would be a few number of test cases suggested to test this bug. Now, how are we creating these test cases? Is we read the existing description and existing context available for this given bug, and we also read the PRDs or other documents attached over here in the ticket. We also, if there are any subtasks attached to this current task or other blocking bugs that are attached to this current bug, we read them as well. And we read the entire test case repository that is available via test management product of BrowserStack. So with all this context taking in, we try to understand the language, the granularity, and the depth with which the test cases have been written. And we simulate that language to create test cases which can be used to test this given bug. So as you can see, this first suggestion is to verify sorting after applying a single vendor filter, right? Second is verifying filtering after sorting option. So basic test cases that you would need to execute to verify this bug. If I open this test case, you can see that this test case has been bucketized under the respective relevant project and the folder as well. And all the steps, description, preconditions, and the other metadata has been created and filled. So this acts as a big boost into productivity by giving a head start into creating initial test cases which are needed to verify a given bug or a feature. So the next feature that I want to talk about is test run creation. Given a feature or a bug, we want to validate that feature or bug. And of all the test cases that we have created in our test repository, um, one needs to select the test cases which are needed to be validated and to be executed to validate this bug, right? So this whole effort is a lot of time manuals and is built by experience built over the period of time, knowing the product and the application well. If somebody is joining new into the team, it takes a lot of time to ramp up to this tribal knowledge, right? So feature over here that we have provided can create a test run which will have relevant test cases selected from the existing test case repository, which will be needed to executed in order to validate this bug, right? So this was the second feature. First one was test case creation and second one was test run creation. This test case creation feature we also have available in test management product, wherein our customers maintain and develop test case repository. So for a given project, there are different folders which represent different user workflows or different features. And for every feature, there would be test cases. But it is bound to happen that some of the test cases for a few flows are missing and the coverage is not up to par. So this tool over here comes really handy. In one click of this tool, there would be a few test cases generated, which would help you improve the coverage and would cover the missing parts of the execution workflow for which test cases have not been considered, right? So that was about test case creation and test run creation. Moving on to the next feature, that is converting a manual test case written into natural language, a test case like this, written into natural language into low-code automation test case. So I will trigger creating a low-code automation test case from this manual test case. As you could see, when I triggered that button, a pop-up was created. Now this pop-up has all the details our application tool, our AI tool requires to create an low-code automation test case and run that test case into a browser, right? So you would definitely need a base URL. You would there might be a case that you need to log into the website using username and password, and if the username and password is mentioned somewhere in the description of the test case, that would be fetched smartly and would be filled in over here if applicable. All the test steps. Let me take another example for better understanding. So yeah, I'm sorry. So as you can see, the URL was fetched, and from the steps mentioned by QA persona in the manual test case, we created granular atomic steps which can directly be converted into an executable web page action, right? Opening the URL, navigating to a certain tab, landing onto a certain page, etc. Each one of this step will be converted into a direct web page action. So this is how the creation flow is happens. As you can see, this test case is now created. So we can view it in the BrowserStack low-code automation product dashboard. This is the test case that we just created. Now, from this test case, we can create a test suite, say business subscription flow test suite, and I can have it run on either desktop or mobile. And I can add test cases. The test case that I just created is also listed over here. I can add a few more. And I can say I want to run it on Chrome and Firefox. And I want to schedule it on certain days in a week at certain time. I can have these test cases get tested against the application that's running on my local host. So after I have created this test suite, I can start running it. What happens is these test cases which are created, these would keep keep getting executed on cloud in the background. And that's how in a very few clicks and by spending very few minutes, we have converted manual test cases into automation test cases, which could be a huge productivity booster for the QA teams. But just for a demo purpose, just to give the audience more understanding of how these test cases have been converted into low-code automation test case, let me run this on a desktop client. As you can see, there is a BrowserStack low-code desktop client that I have launched. This will run this test case locally. So this test case was about launching a particular URL, going to the For Businesses tab. It'll go to For Business tab. It'll go to compare plans link on its own. It'll validate the test case was to verify the page loading, right? So it validated that the title of the page got loaded. It validated that contact sales element also exists. So this is how we have created manual test case from and low code automation test case from a manual test case. So any questions till now? I mean, if there are questions, you can please ask them into Q&A, and Kunal, my colleague, would be more than happy to help you with those. I will move on to the next feature that we have with us. So in the test execution phase, it often happens that the given underlying web page is going through active development, and hence locators are changing, or there are some suboptimal locators that are used into the web page, right? In that case, a constant need exists to update the test cases. So self-healing feature over here talks about how to heal these test cases automatically and increase test suite robustness, reduce the flakiness of the test cases because of the suboptimal locator strategies, and improve the reliability of the test cases. To enable this feature that I talked about, it's as simple as just adding one small property into browserstack.yaml file, and this feature will be enabled, and all the test cases in all the test suite that are running on either Automate product of BrowserStack or App Automate or through TurboScale, all the test cases would be healed automatically using the AI tool that we have built. Right? To heal these test cases, we are using BrowserStack's proprietary AI-based algorithm to identify updated locators. Now, once healing has happened, we can also monitor the test cases and how the healing has happened on Automate dashboard. So let me walk you through quickly our automation dashboard. For demo, I have taken this one test case. I have built this test case for which there existed this one button that's contact us. After I changed the XPath of that button, we got this error, no such element found, right? And the test case failed. And I forgot to mention, my bad, the self-heal was turned off over here. So test case couldn't heal itself. And that's why the test case failed. After we turn on self-heal, we can check the healed logs, and we can see that this test case healed itself, and it could find the new selector even after the XPath of it had changed, right? And that's how test case passed. Of course, this test case needs to be updated in order to save the constant, because the web page will keep on going and beyond point to update the test cases, but a lot of productivity save happens in the initial phases. So this was the self-healing feature. So right now this feature is enabled and is generally available for Selenium. We plan to support it for Playwright and other frameworks as well. While the current support is only for web browsers, soon the support for mobile browsers and for mobile apps will also be released. After having walked you all through the current capabilities that we have released out in the future, I am excited to tell you all about the future that lies ahead with respect to BrowserStack AI and all the things that we have planned ahead. We have accessibility product that we are planning to empower with AI with respect to workflow scanner. So all the accessibility issues that get scanned in accessibility product today, we will enhance it further with the AI capability that we would embed in it. For Percy visual testing tool product, we will have improved visual diffs and for you just saw me demoing natural language based low code automation test case creation, right? We would soon have natural language based Selenium driver commands also generated using our AI tool. And with all these activities going on in the testing phase, there are a lot of metrics that are generated out of this. And things like automation coverage, things like defect leakage, all these metrics, it's very cumbersome to gather them, to create dashboards out of them, to create some summary out of them, and to really have a view of where and how effectively a QA organization is heading. So we are coming up with a capability wherein, given a simple natural language prompt, custom dashboards would be created, and a quick insight into the QA activity happening into the testing cycle can be generated. So with this, I will pass on the baton to my colleague Kunal, and he will talk about responsible AI and BrowserStack.
Thanks, Rupert, for covering all of the cases, all of the uh, features that we have up and running today, and what we are doing inside of them, and the new items that are planned in our roadmap. Um, while we continue to build and innovate all of these solutions, we want to talk about our approach while we build these solutions. Our approach to responsible AI majorly is considering these 5 aspects. And again, this is coming off of our already strong platforms and infrastructures that we have created, which were already following these values and these approaches. We're just extending them to our AI capabilities, and will continue to work towards it. But within the AI context, what do they mean, right? Accountability and governance. So from very high level standpoint, all of the compliances that hold true within our products today, they continue to hold for our AI solutions. So be it SOC 2, be it GDPR, those compliances we continue to adhere to even within our AI solutions. Coming to our data security and privacy aspect of things, we make sure that none of the data of your tenants or your applications get leaked or get used for other tenants or other applications. Your data will always remain yours and will never be used for generating outputs and generating responses for other groups or other tenants. And the same way, where none of their data would leak over into your tenants. So this is segregation that's built fundamentally into the system. So that should not be a problem for any of the integrations. Control on the generated data. So whatever comes out of it, whatever comes out of our solutions is again assistive, the final decision on whether it needs to be part of your data is yours. We are not in control. We will pass along all the control on to the user. They will own what needs to be part of their uh, what is called as their data and what is not called as their data, right? Transparency, we will be very transparent on the ways that we are solving these problems and what kind of how will your data flow. There will be documentations that will soon roll out across all of our AI solutions, which will clearly state what data we are using, how are they flowing, and the kinds of controls that you have over them. Um, and last but not the least is continuous improvement, right? So we are on top of we are always on top of what is happening within the market, um, trying to stay ahead of the curve, and making sure that um, you can get the best of values and impact out of our solutions. So this is our approach to building AI solutions, and yeah, we'll stay steadfast to do whatever it takes uh, to maintain our approach. So I think before we move on to the question answers section, I think Nazreen would be starting another poll, where I think she would want to like to understand if you would want to have further demos for your team. Cool. Moving on to the question and answers. I think there are a lot of questions that have come in. It's good to see so much engagement and so much interest for what we are doing with AI and how we are doing it. Have tried to answer a few on chat already. I think I'll try to cover a few from what is open. I think, Nupur, if you want to ask a few from those, we can try and cover them live.
Yes.
So I think I see one question where you said, do you support mobile automation test cases? I think this is something that Nupur mentioned already is within our immediate roadmap. We currently the solution supports desktop browsers. Mobile browsers is already work in progress. Should see it out soon. App support is something that's again work in progress. So should be out soon as well.
There is another question, Kunal, wherein Vivek Goel is asking, is healing option available in legacy integration?
So healing is available in legacy with or without. So by legacy, what I understand is if whether it's integrated via SDK or not. Healing is, yes, available without the use of SDK as well. Although it will work only on BrowserStack, automate or app automate products. SDK would give you an additional benefit of healing working across your internal grids or internal executions. So we are extending that support slowly and steadily within all our SDKs. I think a few of our Node SDKs already have it. But yeah. There is
Another question is quite a few users have asked if all these AI features are paid.
So I think currently our AI features are are beta features, and they will continue to be in beta for some more time. That being said, not all features would be paid, not all features would be free. We'll look at it from a eventuality standpoint. We will figure out where what will sit. Um, the test run is happening through Jira, or do I need to do this from BrowserStack platform? So the test run can be created directly from Jira. You don't need to come onto the BrowserStack platform, test management platform, to create a test run. If that's the question. And it can be very well managed from the Jira plugin that we have today.
So
Can
another question is,
Hmm.
sorry, another question is, how do we know that we need to update a selector if the test has passed? So as I had demoed, this question is from Vetali Shimatov. So Vitali, as I had demoed, when a test case has passed and has been healed, you can filter the text logs in the automate dashboard to show just healed logs, right? In those logs, you can figure out that a particular updated selector has now been chosen by the test case, and that is when you know you have to update it.
Seeing a few questions on if we can integrate the test selection, the solution, the plugin, the Jira plugin with X-rays or with other test management solutions. I think to answer in short, no, they are not supported with other test management solutions. I think though, as Nupur has answered it separately, uh, you there are very simple integrations or fluid integrations to move your test case repositories over to the test management solution to make use of these or uh, generate value out of these solutions for yourself. I see another question around, can we see the script? Can we modify the script? Can we download the script from the manual to automation integration that exists today? Uh, so currently within our low-code automation tool, we do not export the scripts. Though within the tool, you can go and edit all of the recordings and as per your liking, if you want to change specific um, flows within the automated workflow, you can make those changes done. As for yeah, I think that's how I like to. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are questions about other test management tools, whether we can have these AI features available in those tools. We don't have that in our roadmap. We plan to support these features with the test management product of BrowserStack. However, there are smooth integrations available to move away from from platforms like TestRail and use have the data ported to test management, and you will have all these AI features available with test management.
I see one question around where's the BrowserStack YAML file sitting. I think the BrowserStack YAML file is very native to the SDK integration or the SDK mode of integration into BrowserStack Automate and BrowserStack App Automate products today. If you do not use the SDK, I think you can pass it via our legacy capabilities support to BrowserStack options. Though we do recommend switching over to the BrowserStack SDK, as it has a lot more value over the legacy integration. We can share a few documents as to why we recommend them. But yeah, the BrowserStack YAML is for the SDK integration, SDK mode of integration for your test suites.
Ken Simon asks, do you have to be integrated with Jira for the AI test case creation? Yes, and there is a BrowserStack provided Jira Forge app integration available. In your Jira, if you install BrowserStack plugin, there is a small BrowserStack button that comes up. you click on it, and this feature, AI features that I demoed, would you would be able to start using it.
If we're talking about mobile apps, so Sushanta asks that they would want to know if it's just supported for Appium. I think yes, in the short term or in short to mid term, we would release support for Appium for healing as well as natural language based automation. That's where we are. Regarding Mikola, Mikiko Mendola asks that regarding test automate, can we use it for app automation as well? And do we have plans to support Cypress for app automation? Cypress for app automation, I'm not really sure, but can we use our AI solutions for app automate? You would soon be able to do that. It's currently work in progress, and we are conducting internal betas and internal. There is some internal work going on. This should be out soon. Uh,
An anonymous attendee asks if we have plans on implementing Mac OS or iOS testing. So all these features that we have available, as I said before, would be available across all the testing frameworks on all the desktop browsers and all the mobile browsers on all the mobile apps available across Android and iOS. So yes, I mean, all of this will be available in the Apple ecosystem as well.
One Shashank asks, do you have anything to reduce effort in analyzing automation test results? We do have something in works, but it's very early right now. So we would, at this point, I'm not really sure if I can go more in detail about it, though there is something that is planned for analyzing results, identifying failures, trying to debug those failures and insights on top of that. So that's something that is in the roadmap, but it's a bit early for me to uh, go a bit deeper on it.
So there is another question by an anonymous attendee, and I saw this question a couple of more times. So do we create code that can be used in Selenium and Java? So as I said, we have it in roadmap to create a natural language prompt into Selenium driver commands. So in your Selenium test cases, you can write a prompt saying, just taking a very basic example of, log into this website using this username and password, and validate if the title of the page is so and so. So we don't create code, but we will convert this natural language prompt into executable Selenium driver commands, and they'll be executed on the browser. And after it's executed, the control will be returned to the next line of the code. So we do have it in our roadmap, and it'll soon be out. Kunal, there is another question. Will Percy get some AI features too?
Yes, Percy won't miss out on some AI love. It will have it soon as well. I think we are working on improving our visual diff mechanisms, which will move to a lot more deeper algorithms, AI-based algorithms. There are a few more planned where I think we'll help identify uh, the diffs and what the diffs are and anomalies and stuff like that. So yeah, Percy and App Percy both uh, are going to see some love soon.
Yeah. And a lot of customers are asking to know more about BrowserStack AI capabilities, demos, and other products and other capabilities that BrowserStack provides. You can get in touch with our sales team through the contact us page on BrowserStack portal, and our sales team will get back to you, ready to tell you more about what all uh, what all functionalities and products we provide, and also can walk you through the AI uh, features we have as well. So yeah, I think
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot of questions. I'm just trying to see if we can. So I think I see a few questions around pricing and subscription of test management still. I think test management has its own freemium as well as paid plans available. The current AI features are available across all of the plans, free, freemium, as well as paid plans. Uh, but the features themselves are in beta currently. I think when those features are out of beta, which plans will they be available in? Will they be available within freemium or not? Is something that will, that's a uh, yeah, future decision. And yes, some of the solutions that Nupur already demoed are available to use currently across all the tools, be it test management, be it low code, be it automate. Uh, yeah. Thanks a lot for joining in, folks. It was great having you all. Um, your questions will help us mold our solutions, and we are happy to get back on those answers soon.